Hello there friends, welcome back. I'm Bruce from Laying Down the Paw. This week, Megan is off at Wizard School for dog training. So now's the perfect time to strike off the last thing on my honey-do list for our training facility, which is also our garage. But the floors, they need to be sealed from accidents or whatever else can happen during dog training. It's messy. So I've been going back and forth between epoxies and paints, reading reviews and driving myself nuts. Then I finally landed on the idea of staining it. Well, stains have a lot of VOCs in them, and that's not good for dogs. So Megan went to work and found this company called Eco Safety Solutions. They offer a ton of different color options and different types of sealers, and they also have all the other products you need for prepping the concrete, which is pretty important. After Megan sent me the product to review, I immediately turned to YouTube to find videos of reviews and whatever else I could find. All there was videos from the company, which are cool, but I like to get more of a DIY perspective. So, because there wasn't anything, I figured I'll make a video. So on the Eco Safety Products website, they have everything you would need for concrete preparation, which is the most important step, and all different color options for stains and different shine options for seals. Each individual product has its own description and will tell you how much square foot as far as coverage you get. So definitely measure your area and go by that. So for this project, I went with 1 bottle of Etcher because my concrete's pretty old and pretty porous already. It just needs a really good cleaning. And the rest I went with 2 gallons of stain and 2 gallons of sealer, which that's plenty of coverage. They suggest you split everything into 3 days. Day 1 being a clean and prep day, day 2 staining, day 3 is sealing. Today is the clean and prep day, and I've got lots of stains in this floor, so I better get moving. So my cleaning process will be Simple Green full strength into a little pressure sprayer, and you just spot treat little spots like oil and grease, whatever is on there. And then my next step is power washer with one of those rotating like driveway patio cleaner things. It's rated for up to 3200 PSI. This power washer does not make 3200 PSI, but so far I've been hitting it. It looks pretty good. So we'll keep going with that. Just a little legal disclaimer, I'm not a professional, just in case there's any confusion. Here's the latest, folks. I'll be honest, I started a little too late. A little bit before noon, thinking, it'll be easy, simple, but it actually takes quite a while to get the stains even kinda gone, because this is really old concrete and they're really in there. So, I just got done doing the Etcher solution. There's all my stuff I have to move to this side. It's a 2.5 car garage, and I did the 1.5 side. So it took me that long to do that. So far, this is the results of the process from the whole day of Simple Green treating, scrubbing that, then power washing with the deck cleaner, the spinning head thing. And then I did the Eco Etch Pro, and then I power washed that again and shop vac that. So it's decent. It's not perfect, I know that, but I wasn't shooting for absolute perfection. But that's the other half that I have to do. I have to move all that stuff over so I can do it. But the difference is, I'd say pretty dramatic, because it did look like that, and now it looks like that. Not so good? Kinda nice. All right, 10:30, day 1. Just finished power washing after the etch on the other half, well, the 1 car side. Just finished cleaning up. Next time I would manage my time better and be better at talking to the camera for YouTube. That would have saved a lot of time. And we'll see you tomorrow for some staining. Also, sorry to my neighbors, because that power washer is not quiet. Good night. So here we are, day 2, staining day. I discovered an accident I did last night in my haste of cleaning up and putting everything away. I brought the scrubby brush inside without thinking that it was still wet and laid it up against my toolbox. Right about over there. You can still see a little bit of a mark, but I put the fan on it this morning and dried it out, so pretty confident it's dry. Otherwise, I have my plastic up for the garage door so I don't get green on it, or the entryway door. So, pretty self-explanatory. Put the stain down and spread it out with a staining pad, or they say some kind of mop thing, but I couldn't find that where I was. And so we're gonna see how that goes. So, one of the things I was curious about, because I watched the instructional video of how to open these cans, I was kind of curious if the strong arm method that they use in their video would actually work. And of course, it does not. So what I found is I just grabbed a couple pliers, one being like a bull nose, I guess they call it, like that. And this one happens to be adjustable. It's a Harbor Freight one. So it's great, but so I have it on the widest setting, the wider hole, and then a pair of channel locks set on like just a little bit fatter than closed or normal, and just get it up under the edge, like take a bite of the edge of it. I think you can see that. Yeah. So grab a bite and bite with the other one. I don't know if both made a difference, but the orange one's definitely got a good bite. So you just pry it back, and you'll miss it a couple times, but you just keep biting there, and then you'll eventually crack it. And they're one-time use safety caps, so that's all you need to do with it, is crack it off. I saw comments of people that they cut them off and just annihilated them, which apparently, basically, you have to do to get it off. So I just made a couple, one main crack, and then you work your way around like you're taking a tire off the rim. Get a couple other cracks, and eventually it weakens it enough to where it comes all the way off. Hopefully. Yep, there's another crack. And just keep cracking it until it gets loose enough. Or if you get one of the cracks all the way through, that's perfect. But anyway, I'm on my 2nd gallon because I'm doing the 1.5 side, which I was worried that it wouldn't make it all the way. And of course, I ran out with a little pathway left, but I need to get that side done. Now the strong arm method works. Sort of. There we go. So there's that. There's the cap off, and that's what 1 gallon got me. I skipped doing underneath that because I started to get worried about how much I had left, and so I did under the stairs and all over here under the stairs. It doesn't look perfect, but it's better for now. So we'll check in with you when we're all done staining. Okay, so here we are, day 3 of the stain and seal project, and this is what we got after 2 gallons on the 1.5 car side. I don't know the square footage, but that was after 1 light coat of the 1 gallon, and I didn't really like how that looked, so had to go a little thicker. Pretty much, yeah, use the whole 2nd gallon. So this is definitely fully 2 gallons, and did a little extra strip on the other side of the divider, but that'll need more because it's got a little bit different shade up in this region. So today's sealing and I'm gonna get started on that. Otherwise, pretty happy with it. So, I don't mind sharing my mistakes, because if someone could learn from it, then that's great. Learn from it. Let me make the mistakes. I'm great at it. So, I made an oopsie, and I was filling the sprayer, the little garden sprayer that I was using to spray the Eco Poly Finish and Sealer on the other floor. And it dribbled down the side and went on the floor, and at first I didn't think about it. But then I realized that's the stuff that seals the floor. I need to stain that still. Oh no. I am not a professional. So I got done sealing the other side, and I decided I better call the Eco Safety products, in which in my intro I called it Eco Safety, what did I say? Supplies or something? But that's not it. It's Eco Safety products, so forgive me for saying that. Anyways, so the nice guy on the phone, he said get a degreaser. The best one is Dawn or something that's stronger maybe, but Dawn's pretty good. He said to put some Dawn on it, get a wet scrubby brush it, and let it sit for a while and hope that it breaks it up and you can kind of pull it out. Probably shop vac it, I guess is the best way. So don't make that mistake. Don't fill your sprayer with the sealer on the unfinished part of the garage if you have that, or the floor, whatever you're doing. So there you go. There's my oopsie of the day. All right, so here is day 4 after 4 coats of the Eco Poly Finish and Seal. I remembered it this time. And yeah, towards the end of the 4th coat, looked like things were getting pretty thick and milky, so that's a good time to stop. And I cranked the heat up to, as soon as it's 66, and the fan's running, so it kept the floor warm. You definitely want the floor to stay above 40 degrees. That's what their instructions say, at least. So, dried pretty good. Looks decent. I like it. I went through everything, all the product I had. So I have to make another order and wait for that to come in, and then I'll finish the other side. And the other thing is, you have to wait 5 days before, or at least 3 to 5 days for the chemical curing period. So I'm not gonna roll any of the heavy toolboxes over here because I'm not messing this up. By the time it ships and gets here, it should be ready to move everything over and we'll be ready to go. Through the magic of YouTube, you'll see the other side done. That way you don't have to watch me do that again. What do you think of the new floor, Dallas? What's that? Oh, it's still gray. Right. All right, we're back. And I have a lot less hair on my head now. Yeah. So anyway, the project is done. I finished it 3 weeks, 2 weeks ago, something like that. Life is busy. And it turned out pretty good, pretty happy with it. Definitely, the biggest thing I would say is order double of what their coverage suggestion says. So that's what I ended up with, double of what I first thought. I still just did the one, the etcher. Whoop, now it's gonna fall. The etcher bottle, that was fine because my concrete, as I said, is old. It's very porous, actually. It passed the test with flying colors. And so that made it easy for staining. Maybe that made it soak in more. That's why I need a double. It's very possible. But I'll never know because this is not new concrete and I won't be getting any new concrete. So that's what I had to work with. So for my case, they're 30-year-old concrete. Double worth. I can't say enough about the company. They've been pretty good. They've been fast with shipping. Bless you. And the customer service guy that I called for my oopsie, he was very nice, and that actually turned out fine. So he either saved the day or it wasn't that big of a problem, but thank you. So the process I used seemed to work decently. It worked for me at least. Just the $10 home garden sprayer pump, like a pump up pressure sprayer. The other thing I used was a stain pad on an extendable paint pole with thread on the end to fit the. The other thing I used was this Minwax. There's no pad on it because I threw them all out. Minwax staining pad for like bigger floors. It got the hole for the paint or for the pole to screw into. I had an extendable pole which helped out a lot. It goes up to probably 10 feet, I think, as a guess. That worked out pretty good. I went through a lot of pads because the concrete kind of tears up the edges. Like if you don't spread it flat evenly, it'll tear away at this edge. And I learned that through experience. But that was fine. I probably used 6 pads, maybe 4, I don't remember. It was a lot, so probably 6. And I guess you could have washed the pad if you want to, like save it, but I just bought different pads, so not that expensive. And I put this on an extendable paint pole, which the extending part helped in the places where there ended up being little pools far away from me. I couldn't get to it, so that helped reach that and spread it out. So it definitely helped. That was a good move. So overall, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. It's not perfect because the spots that I'll take little videos or pictures of them and put them in. Now, they're still there. You can see some of them, but it's not for show. It's for work and just life. So it'll do the job. Things I would do differently is definitely have all the product on hand that I needed, and maybe even more actually, because the 1.5 car side could have used a little more stain. And as I was watching back through the videos, I realized I put a strip on the other side, and where I should have actually put that on this side, because it ended up not being as dark as the 1 car side. So it's a little uneven, but it's not horribly noticeable. But you could definitely, I notice it, because I did it. But it's pretty even. I'm just looking at it as I'm talking, but it's pretty even. And what I did was I did more sealer on this side after I did the first 2 coats. I did 3 or 4 coats on the 1.5 car side. After I did the one side, I came over and did, I think, 2 more coats because I had a leftover can. Okay, so the sealer actually does last a while. The stain does not. That soaks in and it goes pretty quick. But the sealer actually goes a while. So I did have an extra gallon. That's why I used it on the first side. If given the chance, would I do stain again? Yeah. It's a pretty good process, and you honestly, as far as I know, don't have to worry about it peeling up like how the paints or the epoxies do. That's the main thing I was worried about. I just didn't want chips of epoxy or paint flying around and dogs licking them up and then them getting sick and it being my fault. Not something I'm really in the mood to have on my plate or on like me. So this was definitely the safest route. Even if they do lick the floor, it's pretty much just soy. It's dry, obviously, but it can't hurt them. It's not poisonous to them. So that was the main goal, and this company definitely filled that goal, or helped me fill that goal, however you want to say it. Hold on. Let's wrap this up. If I had to give it a score, 1 to 10, I'm going to go with 8 out of 10. Mainly because the product coverage was off. So splitting it up and not having enough was kind of not great. But otherwise, the whole process was pretty simple, pretty straightforward. A guy like me can do it. I'm not great with home painting things. It's not my thing. But anyway, it went pretty good overall. It was a lot of work, but if you're willing to put it in, then it's definitely worth checking out this stuff. Definitely go with double, more than you think, and just be ready to to put some elbow grease into it, but the result is pretty good for the work. It's not a showroom. If that's what you're going for, don't do this. But if you're looking to add color to concrete, just spice it up a little bit, give it some life, just to do something different, then this is the stuff you should look into. It's good value, it's a good product for the price, and it's safe for pets, like this one. So overall, we're pretty happy with it, and I recommend it to you.